Good morning. Good to see everybody. See, Discus agreed with my trailer video, not using additives. I find the less crap you put in these tanks, the better it works. And that is true experience. I think at times we keep our hands on our aquariums a little bit too often. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Sweet Polly's come in. Good morning to you. Hey, Cecil. Hey, Scotty. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. I got to do some water changes myself. I have recently upped my water changes schedules. I was doing it once a month. Wasn't having a problem with doing it with the fish once a month. Water quality was pretty decent. But what it was causing was a lot of algae and things like that because I was getting too many excess nutrients build up, cyanobacteria, stuff like that. So I've been doing water changes every 2 to 3 weeks again, and I have seen a much better difference in water quality. Girl Gone Nano, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Let me see here. StreamYard had some updates. They added some pretty cool little things. So the topic of today's live stream, combining fish and dealing with aggression. The reason why I'm bringing this topic up is because I am right on the threshold of getting my new 375-gallon aquarium, and I'm going to be moving some fish. I'm not a stranger at all to putting fish together and dealing with aggression. However, I wanted to have a live stream about it and get your guys' thoughts on this process. Because what I want to put in this tank is a Jack Dempsey, my 2 big blood parrots. There's going to be a big pleco in there. Jim at Happy Place Aquatics is going to be sending me some Severums. They still need to grow out, but they're going to go in there. And a couple of other fish. But as with anything, and any fish like people, the personalities are different. You never know what you're going to get. So it's just going to be a trial and error thing. I'm going to put these fish together. The blood parrots have attitude. The Dempsey had attitude when I picked him up. I think he's chilled out a lot, but he's been in a tank pretty much by himself. But he is with a large pleco. But they keep to themselves. So I don't know how he's going to act again when he's in a bigger tank with around other fish and other fish that do have some tude. So what do you guys do when you have to combine fish? Do you do the same thing where you just throw them in and see what happens? Keep that tank available that they came out of just in case you have to put it back in there? Do you give them a little bit of time if you do see some aggression between 2 different fish after putting them together to see if it pans out? Or do you immediately take them back out and put them back in the tank they were in? What are your guys' process for this? Hey, Peter, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. So let me know your process on that. Yeah, StreamYard has a couple cool things they added here. There's the fish pump card. I keep that up. Things like this right here. I don't know what this bright thing is they added. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure. You know what makes me mad about StreamYard is though, I used to be able to add another camera, send myself a link, bring my own camera. You can't do that. It will not let me do that unless I upgrade. which is crazy because I used to be able to do it before. As far as just adding a camera and not having to send myself a link and an invite. So I don't understand why they wouldn't just let you add another camera. Pause. Polly says, yes, I forgot to check the score. Did you throw some pics? You know, sweet Polly, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to take the pictures as well. So we're going to get that done. I apologize for that. Process. You don't need no stinking process. What do you do, Scotty? You just throw them in. They don't work out. You pull them back out. What do you do? Because my original idea was to throw my very large Oscars in that aquarium along with my very large Pleco. But I think the problem with that is my one Oscar has a lot of attitude. And he grew up in that 125 with the other Oscar. They've been together their whole life. And even then he gets crabby, bumps into him. I feel like if I took him out and I put them in this new tank and I threw other fish in with him, I think I'm going to have a real problem there because he's one of these Oscars that don't tolerate change. He does not like new. Just sticking my arm in the tank to clean the pre-filter on my FX6. Today I had to do that. He didn't want anything to do with that. He's just got attitude and that big old mouth comes open. He's all mad. He's come after my arm several times. And that's a good point, Peter, right there. Turn down the lights and watch them. It definitely, that is a process I've done. Definitely a trick you want to do is turn the lights down for sure. That's a good point to bring up. I appreciate that. If there is or still some aggression after a few days, I try another tank. Okay. I totally forgot as well. Plus, I won't be ready for it. Okay, cool. I'm going to get that to you, Polly. Appreciate that information. Girl Going Nano says, I don't have any experience with larger aggressive species, but with the smaller ones, I have had some success with line of sight breaks and rescaping the tanks a few times. Also feed heavily too. You and I share, Girl Going Nano, we share similar processes there. And I'm going to keep saying processes just because Scotty doesn't like it. But yeah, definitely dealing with aggression, you definitely want to have line of sight breaks, maybe a floating plant like water sprite that grows real heavy, wood, rocks. I have also found a powerhead. Adding a powerhead almost acts like a dither fish. It creates distraction. It gives the fish something else to do, something to fight against. I've found that to help aggression. I have that now. Ben Ochard will say he never found this to be useful, but I have found that if you do take him out and put him in another tank for a couple of weeks, put him back in, he kind of loses his place in the totem pole, and it kind of resets him. I've had luck doing that, and I also share giving them a full belly. You know, if they're not hangry on top of things, that definitely helps. So you and I do the same thing there. Scotty says it's a tough call. My small planted tanks, no issues. It's the cichlids. They each have their own attitude. You just have to keep close eye on them. Yeah, exactly. And, even when we're talking about small fish, I've had guppies in with betas, and those dang guppies are relentless. I've seen them just nonstop chase other fish. Like they don't quit. So I feel like guppies can cause stress and kill fish due to stress. Fish family. So what exactly do you consider aggression? One of my new Severums moves the other out of his spot, but it doesn't aggressive me. Nah, that's just kind of territorial, Polly. When I'm talking about aggression, I'm talking about what my Oscar will do over here. What that Dempsey was doing the day I bought him in the fish store, where he was literally chasing other fish and ramming into them, opening his mouth, the lip locking, the circling, aggression, fighting, tearing other fish up. I've had fish get tore up from these things, stuff like that. Hey, Tommy, good to see you, buddy. Peplin Creek's come in. He's a member for 4 months. Can't thank you enough. The memberships, to be honest with you, is what makes my channel the most revenue. I have noticed an uptick in my views. My videos are getting a lot more views as time goes on. It does help, but hands down, you guys being members to the channel and coming in here every day, every Saturday, rather, talking to me is what really does it. And so I can't thank you guys enough. Tommy says I failed with aggression. Archers and glass cats. Yeah, archers find them as fun challenge to hunt. Lost them all in 5. Oh man. Wow, that sucks. But those archer fish, I see them in your new 180 gallon aquarium behind you when you're doing your videos on the Aquatic News Network. That tank is beautiful. And those archer fish are really cool. Girl Gunner says my peas have big personalities. Some of them have been just rotten and have been able to be with the group. And yes, I've had guppies just harass betas nonstop. Oh yeah. There's something else. I've had them all. I've had many betas over the years. I got small fish running right now. I now have Harmony, but I do believe it's because they're in a very heavily planted 29 gallon with caves and rocks and a lot of things to go around. I'll tell you another pretty fish is the longfin Danio. I got one of them running around in there. Man, is that a pretty fish. I always enjoy watching him. Hey, USA, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Ray says, I have a male guppy that keeps trying to breed my Florida flagfish. Boys go pro. That's funny. Guppies are something else, man. I think they're like, they have that small dog syndrome. You know what I mean? There's so many hiding spots, too. They had stood no chance against archers, guys. And they're definitely not going to try to hide up above because they'll just shoot them out. Hey, Tara, good morning. Good to see you. Hope you're good. Hope work was all right. And she's about to get some rest. Hey, Shane, good to see you, buddy. Hope you had a great week. Jesse, yeah, I mean, the weeks are all right. But it's the weekends that I like. But I appreciate that, and I hope the same to you, Shane. Peter says, I got the white Flaming Swordtails and Ultimate Angel Swordtails bullying the Angels. Yeah, they're crazy. It's amazing, these little fish. They just run alongside of them, and all the fish are they were bullying my Rasboras the same way. Come here. They won't leave them alone. They don't quit. There's something else. Archers are deceptive too. Their mouths are insanely huge for their body, but when your jaw is strong enough to snipe dragonflies off a tree limb, I guess makes sense. Yeah. And what a neat attribute they have. If nobody knows, archer fish, they get their name because they'll spit water out to hit insects to knock them down and get them. Really neat. What a shit show. Oh boy. Ew. Do you have to work? You got the weekend off, or do you have to go in tonight, Tara? Hey, Tim, good to see you, buddy. We have longfin leopard Danios available. Okay. I like my little fish too, Peplin. I got them. I was seriously consider combining the 29 nano tank with the 55 gallon Tiger Barb tank and getting a 125. So I have one less tank to do. And you guys know I like my big tanks, and it'll fit perfectly on this wall. I just put them together. It's going well. I think I might have to move my angels and split them up. Yeah, I got angels. You know, they are an aggressive fish. They're by far one of, if not the most aggressive fish in my fish room. They're always going at each other. But the nice thing is, it seems to be local. They only are aggressive to each other. I've never seen them go after anything else. My blood parrots have chased the angelfish a little bit, but they don't try to hurt them. Angelfish is something I have enough of. And again, the ones I raised tried to have babies in this tank, but The goldfish or the loach ate them. And I got to do some maintenance in here for sure. Water's getting low. I want to get some more frequent water changes going, like I was talking about earlier. But everything's going good in the fish room, no problem. Got some sponge filters to clean. I did some pre-filters this morning. Everything's going pretty good. I'm just excited for that. As soon as that big tank gets here, I got a lot of things to do. Hey, Branton, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Tara says, I work tonight, off Sunday and Monday. I work Tuesday, then I'll be off for surgery. So, what you having surgery on, Tara? Your knee or something? Tiger barb might be too. I was thinking about that too, Peplin, but you know what? The tiger barb seemed to have really chilled out. But you never do know what happens when you introduce new characters. But then again, if I combine all the plants in both of these aquariums, which is a lot, as well as the caves and the little rocks and things I've got in here, they might be all right. But anything can happen. We all know that. Hey, Jody, good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. Hope you had a safe 10-hour drive home there. Obviously, you did. Do you guys that do water changes with pumps use the same pump for different tanks? I do not. I use the same pump for all my aquariums, and I've been doing that for years without issue. It is a 850 GPH palm pump I got from Lowe's. I just plop it in each tank, drain it out, and I have never had a problem. Now, if I had a QT tank running, I wouldn't want to put it in the quarantine tank, but I've been using the same pump for years, no problem. Works just fine for me. But then again, I don't get a lot of sickness or illnesses. I don't get a lot of rampant disease, and I do believe it's because less is best. I'm not constantly disturbing the tanks. I'm letting the things do their thing. I just do my water changes. I don't let fungusy food, uneaten food, and poop build up. I get that out of there. But other than that, I don't do anything special. I'm not adding in a bunch of chemicals. My right wrist, I have carpal tunnel very severe. My hand is basically numb all the time. Ugh. Well, I hope the surgery fixes you up well. That'll affect everything right there. One of my little barbs, Gold Rosie, takes on my long ear sunfish. The sunfish tries to square up to the barb, and the barb goes after him immediately. They take no crap. Yeah. I love my barbs are one of my favorite fish, tiger in particularly. So just the same. Scotty uses the same pump for all his tanks. Funfish is 3 times the size of the barb. Yeah, they got attitude. Hey, Jose, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Hope you're well. I also use the same pump for all 5 tanks. Paul does the same then. It's safe for now until the sunfish gets bigger. He'll be moved in. I have 5 sunfish. Okay. There's Christian B coming in. Good to see you. Happy Saturday to you. Appreciate you coming in. And there's Garcia. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're well, my friend. So, I thought, there we go. But yeah, I got to really think about this. This tank's going to be here soon. We are pretty much halfway through July already, almost. My big old tank sitting here, and I got to move some fish. I want to put that Oscar in there. I'm growing out. I'd like to put my Dempsey in there, my 2 blood parrots, my big foot-plus long pleco is going to go in there first. And then once the Severums grow out that Jim's sending me, they're going to go in there. And that's going to open up tanks to move some fish around. And I definitely need to do that because I've got a bunch of convicts. I need to get that female out of there. But God, I'm probably going to have more because I got a crap ton of babies in there. I'm going to have to do something with those. But I just know that those blood parrots are going to be a problem. They got 2, but they're a great fish. One of my favorite. I think the Oscar will be okay. He seems like a pretty chill Oscar, but then again, he's been growing out in that tank by himself. It's and that'll trick you. You think a fish is chill until you put them in another tank with somebody else, and you see a whole different fish. So I got to figure out what I'm going to friggin' do. Tim says same Python for all my aquariums except the QT aquariums has its own site. Yeah, I do that too. Well, now my QT is a 10-gallon, so I needed the other Python that I had. It was the stupid top fin one back when I first moved my tanks out here because I had to go to the other end of the house. I needed more hose. That was my QT specific vac, but now that I'm using the hose mostly, and I'll do that in the summer months. I don't have to do that for a little while, but I am planning on getting a utility sink put out here so I can just do that right there. Much easier. Have my hot and cold and not have to worry about none of that. But now just because it's like a 10-gallon QT tank, all I do is I use a bucket when I'm done and scoop it out to where I can pick it up and take it out and rinse it out. Just I know you mentioned in the past about wanting tall plants with all those cichlids. How well will plants do there? I can't keep any plants in my cichlid tank because the 7 and Walrus will eat them. Scotty, I have Amazon sword, jungle bough. What other big plants? I got water sprite in currently with my big Oscars, and this Oscar grew up with plants. And June tells me that's the key. If you want to keep plants with Oscars, they need to grow up with them. And I'm so far seeing that to be true. I don't have a lot of problems with cichlids messing with my plants. And to be honest with you, I've got a goldfish in a planted tank, and he don't mess with them. They never have. So they seem to do fine. If you want to send me some, I'll for sure take them. What I was planning on doing to get some plants in there is I have a really big Amazon sword in that aquarium that I wanted to put in there. And I can, of course, put all the jungle vow I need and water sprite in there. Tommy a while back sent me some awesome plants. He's the reason why I have jungle vow because he sent me some and it's grown and split off from there. Crypts, he sent me some awesome crypts. And they all seem to be doing pretty good. Jody P sent me some viral spiral vow, which, by the way, Jody P, my wife absolutely loves that plant. She was hoping she could put them in the house, and they seem to be doing really well. There's one up in that 20-gallon long up there all the way away from me. You can probably see it. That's how much it's grown. It's right here. Come on, your finger. What? I can't get this right. Right here. That's one of your spiral valves you sent me, Jody P. See how big it got. And of course, if you look on my ceiling, the pothos are doing fantastic. Again, I had to do some potho management last weekend, and I found long shoots I didn't even know I had. As you can see, they're approaching, coming halfway across the ceiling. Up the walls, doing fantastic. What I can say about growing pothos is people will tell you they don't need a lot of light. That's true. They'll grow without a lot of light. However, if you add light, like I did with these shop lights up here, they bursted. They're growing like crazy. So light on pothos. Don't let nobody tell you any different. Cool. I have some tall crypts when you're ready. Okay, cool. Scotty, yeah, absolutely, man, my friend. I take all the plants I can get. I appreciate all you guys for sending me plants. The Severums and Frontosias and that's Walrus, right? Uarus is Walrus, right? Love to eat plants. So I might have a problem with the Severums then, huh, Garcia? I didn't even try to put live plants with my Severums. Polly says, okay. Garcia, the fact that I feed them excess plant trimmings and romaine lettuce. So they like their veggies. Hey, Wally, good to see you, buddy. Our friend from Africa coming in. I have a spiral vow in my 100-gallon. Love the plant. Yeah, my wife was like, that one spirally, can I put that in the house? I'm like, man, you can if you set let me set up a little like 10-gallon. I've got a spare 10-gallon. Maybe I'll offer that, see if she wants to do it. I could grow it in there, put a couple little fish in there to keep it going, and you could have it in there, but it has to be in water. Yeah, see, so I'm trying to catch up to you, pal. But I think when you're talking about pothos, if someone's ahead of you, you're probably not going to catch up depending on the nutrients they get. But you can kind of see in the background what I got here. Cecil's goes all along the ceiling. And that's what I'm trying to get to at jungle. This is going to look sweet in here once these really start growing all over the place. I've got one creeping now over here. It's coming over to be just about at my head where I'm sitting. And another one, I'm getting to go this way. So my plan is to just have like a tunnel of pothos in here. Jesse 2's coming in. Good to see you, buddy. Or don't start with me. When I send you your bucket, I'll have some plants in it. Oh, awesome, Branton. I appreciate that, buddy. Did you get your pump, Branton? The funny thing is those cichlids are vegan. Yeah, absolutely. And my baboon same way. I do feed them duckweed too to help get rid of the duckweed, and they'll eat that up. Love Vow and rigid hornwort. Yeah, I need plants. I need lots of different plants. I've got lots of jungle vow. I got a few crypts. I got a few Amazon swords. Only one of those are doing really good. I got Anubias in here. Anubias is a cool plant, but it's not something I would probably ever buy again. There's some in here kicking all right. I just not a huge fan of the Nubius. I love grass plants. I like my Java ferns. I've got Asian water ferns. What else? Water Sprite. Water Sprite is a crazy cool plant. Grows easily. What else? Pile sent me some floating lucky bamboo plant. Got that in here, which is really cool. Pile Aquatics. I can't even remember, but that's basically it. I don't have anything crazy. I do have some stuff. Thanks to Father Fish, I've got duckweed, and I've got he sent me some other plants, a lotus, or what did we say that was, Tommy? What plant did we say that was? It almost acts like a lily. I'd love to get some more lily pad type plants. I love those type of lily type plants. What was that? Not lotus. What did we figure that was, Tommy? I sent you a picture of. Hey, P-Tag, good to see you. Good morning to you, my friend. Jody waiting for those. Jody waiting for those spiral bow. Getting jealous. Everyone is raving about them. We'll wait for one shipment with the blue platy. Yeah, they're doing good. They're. I got some. I broke them apart and put them in different tanks. It's growing the best up there in that 20-gallon. Prodigal, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Looking good, yeah. They're growing real nice, and I got the different ones. I've got the neons. I don't know. There's so many different ones, but they're growing real nice. Well, you should be expecting that soon, my friend. With my experience having frontosias, which is another fish I'd like to have. I keep asking Garcia to send me frontosia, but he won't do it. I'm going to have to go buy some, I guess. Imagine that. With my experience having frontosia and serums, I've been seeing that happen. So I said no more plants. But then when I put the plastic plants in, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with plastic plants. If you want a little bit of greenery and with a tank that fish ain't compatible with, go with plastic. They make some really realistic plastic looking plants, like the velvet ones. I think it is that they're not so rigid and hard. The only thing I don't like about some of them fake plants is they just look too fake, where they're like neon green or the purples and the blues and all that. But some of them plastic plants and tanks look really nice. I need to call Gemco to get the LPH 200. Not looking for. Yeah, I think the LPH 80. I got it on sale. It was like $400 pump. I got it on sale for like $360 or something. And that's the 80. I wouldn't want to know what the 200. I'm assuming they want, what do they want? $800, $1,000 for that pump? Would that be fair? But when you have, how many tanks do you have, Jesse? 2? I've got an Amazon sword flowering. Oh, no, that's cool. I've never seen that. I've had some big swords. I've got a fairly big one right there, but I've never had them flower. Oh, I also have peace lilies on top of my aquariums as well. That floating bamboo is really cool. I love the roots of it. Yeah, they're neat. I think I also going to pothos. I think we'll add a nice touch in the living room with Tank's wife loves plant. Yeah, I like them a lot. The only thing to watch is when you're running pothos, the plants do seep water, so make sure you don't have them going over any power strips or anything like that. Oh, the money wort, was that what it was? Yeah, they're cool. I love plants like that too. I love me some Anubias. My 125 is just thriving. Oh yeah, I like the Anubias too. They're an awesome ground cover plant. They're really cool, and they hold up well against goldfish. They're a hardy plant, tough. Got to go maybe later or next time. All right, Peter, appreciate you. Be safe. Anubias are my favorite plants. So much you can with them. Great, yeah. Definitely need to have Anubias if you're doing a plant at a tank and scaping. Yes, I do have a marble queen somewhere over there in the back, I believe. Yeah, that'd be. I got to get on your channel and look at that. I have almost every color of the pothos, Brandon. Yeah, there's a lot of them too. The blue. Brandon, Jesse's logo. Yeah, that's behind my channel logo. That is actually Jose's plant behind there. Pennywort. I thought we got. I think we said it wasn't Pennywort. Which is stupid because you got Pennywort and you got Moneywort. They're both currency. Can't we just call it a wort? 750. Okay, I thought it'd be a little more than that. If you wait, you might get it on sale. I don't know. I got lucky when I was buying mine. They had a slash through the 400 and it was down to like 360 or 380 or something. Hey, Sketty, good to see you. Cut off the light for 2 days. That helps send mature swords into infloor. Oh, okay. I didn't. All right. I can try that, which will help. I feel like it's good to do a blackout every once in a while, anyways. Got a dozen babies off my Kleiner bar swords. More babies. General question to all: any particular species of pothos? I don't know anything about them. Let me see. I don't know the names of all of them, but these ones you can see right here get pretty big leaves on them. And honestly, I like them all, and they're all different. Some of them got little white streaks into them. It almost reminds me of hostas. And some are shiny green, some are a dull green, light green. Some don't get as big. There's like on the back wall back there, that one's just little. It's like right there. That I got it pinned to the wall. It never gets very big. And I've had it forever. But you got your, I think, emeralds, queens. All right, guys, have a good one. Garcia Aquatics out because I'm going to the fish farm. All right, Garcia, appreciate you, buddy. You be safe. I hope you enjoy your time there. Yeah, I'm the same, Cecil. They all work. They all work for me. But that's hopefully one day when we're in here, you're going to see all these pothos creating like a tunnel in here. And I'm just going to have a room of pothos and jungle, and it's going to look so cool. And people are going to come in here and be like, what did I just walk into? The roots have to be good and established for it to propagate, though. The roots first, then flowers. And from what I understand, you don't have to just put the roots of a potho in the water column, but that's all I do. You can actually put them down in the substrate of your aquarium. I don't do that. I just float them in the water column, and they're doing great. Now, pothos are a lot of work. At least once a month or more frequent, probably, I'll go around and clip dead leaves off, dead stems. Because if you don't, you got to take the dead off so the rest of the plant can flourish. And it's a lot. There's a lot of trimming with the pothos. So I have to go around and do, like I said. Oh, God, no. Like roses or azalea, got to focus on root establishment first and foremost. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Peace lilies work good coming out of the aquarium. Yeah, I got one peace lily here on my tiger barb tank, and one each in my 275 gallons. I've had them flower a couple times. Pretty white flower. I have a pothos that get bright yellow with direct sunlight, and the leaves that sprout last underwater for months. Yeah, and that happens to me. And if you do leave the leaves of a potho in your tank too long, they will die. But I have found, like I'm looking at some right now that made its way into the water. It's doing fine, but I'll pick them up out and put them back on top. Is a home center or a nursery bird place? Honestly, man, I've got mine at Lowe's. I pull them out of the pot, rinse off the dirt real good, rinse them, make sure there's no of that dirt on them, and then I just put them in. Pearl and jade pothos are very nice as well. The colors are more just variants of the plant. They all grow the same. Yeah, they do grow the same, but some do grow bigger and faster than others. I will say that. Yeah. Yeah, they will. But if you leave the leaves in too long, they will die. I don't they if it goes to in my experience, if the leaves of my pothos are in the water too long, they die. Cecil got his from Walmart. Sketty wants a Hoya. You know what I want? I'll tell you one plant that I want, a terrestrial plant that I want for the fish room that works in aquariums is the Monstera. And I'm sure maybe a nursery around here would have them, but I can't find an awesome Monstera. And that's what I want. I want to get one of these aquariums, and I want to grow a big old Monstera. I hear ferns do well as in tanks too. Hoyas are finicky. You can. The underwater leaves will eventually die off, but it will do it great that way. My dad has a 50-foot one Incan aquaponic pond in his greenhouse and a pot in the pond. Okay. That sounds massive. The leaves on his pothos are bigger than his hand. So we know what you're bringing. Tim has got a solid green and yellow striped pothos. That's cool. Do you already have? Hey Cheryl, good to see you. I've been listening a while, putting groceries away and starting breakfast. Very cool, Cheryl. Appreciate you coming in and saying hello. What are you making for breakfast, Cheryl? I'd like to know. Rope Hoyas are amazing, but finicky. Yeah, wash the dirt off. A lot of times, yeah, they'll put those dang fertilizers and things in those pots to help them grow. To make sure you get all those little green fertilizer things off. I get mine from Etsy. I have too many rare variant plants. My wife would kick my ass if she knew how expensive one of them were. Yeah, your wife might sound the same. Ain't no way she's spending hundreds of dollars on a plant. My flatmate has variegated pothos in a cichlid tank. Really does help bring the nitrates down. Yeah, absolutely. They consume some nitrates. They look great. They make the fish room look great. And pothos are very good for the air quality in your house. So it's a win-win-win. Jesse, I'm sending you a monsters. Oh, you're going to send me a Monstera. Oh, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that. There's a whole list of terrestrial plants you can use in here. I've tried spider plants. For some reason, spider plants don't work well for me. But that'd be great. I'd appreciate that a lot, Brent. And I got a tank that it can consume lots of nutrients from. Thank you so much. Lick. Peplin's very observant. Not my experience. My pothos do great in the water. I just got 2 massive monsteras from the grocery store. Oh, okay. I mean, it's something maybe I could try. Maybe I'll just leave these ones go in this 55 and see what happens. That's what we'll do. Henry has pothos that go throughout his fish room. Yeah, that's what I want to get to. Can't sit down anymore. I got to get it comfortable. I need a stool that's comfortable that maybe has. Do they make like a bar stool that has arms and that can lean back? Like an office chair on stilts. That's what I need. Cheryl's making bacon, eggs, and hash browns. Coffee is already being consumed. First time in a while I was awake to watch your 8 a.m. Okay, Cheryl, cool. We'll go ahead and put some bacon, eggs, and hash browns in a bubble mailer and send me some. But you're probably going to have to do next day air. Thank you. Now she's getting everybody hungry. Got Cecil hungry. The bucket project, the bucket will protect you perfectly, Jesse. I'm going to go get it today. Okay, Brandon, thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, that I guess that'd be good timing, huh? Thanks, Cecil. I'll check Walmart and Home Center to see if I can find a variety. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to like that, Jose. Just rinse the roots off real good. Put them in the back of the tank. Just put the roots in the water. Or if you want to, you can do put them in the substrate. I've watched a video where I guess they do fine that way. I've always just let them float. And I like to let them float too because a lot of fish like to go in and out of the roots and pick at the roots a little bit. Gives the fish something else to do. But they do great. As you can see, you wind up like this. When the stream's over, I turn all my lights back on. They get about 10 hours of light a day. And since I've added the lighting, it's looking great. Now, there's one up here. You can see it right here. It's the lighter green one. It's being fueled by the 75-gallon Mabuna tank. There's also a big Pleco in there. Or not Mabuna, Jack Dempsey. It's coming over here towards where this 375 is going to be. So I want it to go over, and I'm going to get... I can split some off. That's the nice thing about pothos. Very easy if you got a really big one to take one off. And then I'm going to put in that tank. And what's nice about that is if you want to plant a tank with fish that don't do well with plants, pothos is your answer. Monstera's terrestrial plants works really good. And a nice thing about when these pothos get a little bit too big and you want to split one off for another aquarium, that's going to help the rest of that plant grow even bigger because it's not having to split such a big load anymore. And you got it in another tank. Eventually, as in months, it lasts a long time underwater. Pothos stomata do not adapt to underwater. They are gas breathers. Okay. Makes sense. Jose, have you saw my video on YouTube channel on pothos? Yeah, go ahead and share it, Cecil. Share the video in the chat if you want to. And I can actually play it on here if you'd like to. Yeah, big fan of the potho plants. Love it. Good for the air, good for the tanks. And it makes a Zen room au nature. Jose's working on coffee and light breakfast, not a heavy breakfast eater. Coffee, one slice of toast, and a few pieces. See, I'm a big breakfast guy. You're like my wife. My wife, she don't like to eat when she first gets up. She says it kind of makes her nauseated. She actually won't eat till about noon, lunchtime. I love my breakfast. Always have. Yeah, I'll play it. Share the link, Cecil, and I'll play it up here if I can here. I think what he was saying, Branton, is that the pothos like tomatoes, tomato. Aprepenum. I can't even say some of these words. It's neat. You start a topic of a live stream, and you say one thing, and it bleeds into anything. So we talked about aggression tricks a little bit at the beginning and adding fish together, but all of us in here understand that that's just there's no one guideline for that. There's no magic wand. It's try it, see what happens, and go from there, because every fish is different. Every environment's different. All the personalities are different. So there's really nothing you can do other than the tricks I think most of us in here know. So then we got off on the pothos. I'm observing. I like seeing how, one of my favorite things about doing live stream is seeing how it tracks. Start here, and you can see how it ends up over here. We could be talking about fish aggression at the beginning. By the time you get to the end, we might be talking about chocolate bars. But I like that. I'm not one of them guys that I like to stick on subject, and I'll usually come back to it. But I also enjoy letting the chat flow and see where the conversation goes, because this is what you guys want to talk about. This is what you're getting intrigued by. So I don't get all arsed when things go off topic, because no matter what we seem to talk about, it seems to be educational and it seems to be cool. And we all got our stories to tell. So just like here, Brandon just learned what a tomato is, our tomata thing. Microorganisms can get into the leaves as well because of its stomata. That definitely assists in leaf rot as well. No, Cecil. Please put your link. Need to educate myself. No ignorant here, Jesse. There's my link on. Just there's my link to my YouTube channel. I don't know how to show the video myself. Okay, well, let's do this. YouTube. We're going to go over here. We're going to search Cecil Mayberry. Okay, now you're going to have to help me out here. What is the title of the video, Cecil? Yeah, me too, Polly. Tommy's the plant daddy. Let me see. Let's go to videos. Is this the one that says my 55 gallon, Cecil? I think so. So boom. We're going to represent. We're going to share screen, share, Cecil, share. We're going to, not this one. I don't know why it went. This one. Yeah, I think it is. Is this the one? We put this on full screen. You can see his potho roots right there in the back in the center. I use hooks, these little screw-in hooks that I just put on the walls and the ceilings to hold them up. Cecil has that drop ceiling, so he could easily use that support for the drop ceiling to hold those up. Yeah, Cecil's got crazy pothos. Just sub to Cecil as well. I thought I already was. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Periodically, I'll go through and check my subscriptions to you guys and make sure I'm still sub, because when you sub to somebody, you have to make sure, and you probably need, if you just sub to Cecil, make sure you do this. Like and comment a few of his videos, because if you don't, YouTube thinks you're a bot and they'll remove the sub. So anytime you sub to someone, you have to make sure you at least comment and like on one or two videos. That way YouTube don't think you're a bot. Yeah, the copyright popo. Jose, I get little hooks and screw them into the ceiling. Yeah. Okay, then you do what I do too, Cecil. My wife has a fake variegated pothos on the archway of the living room, aka fish room. Would be cool to replace it with a real one. Oh yeah. But just remember though, the leaves will drip water. Once they get over saturated, they'll release water that they don't need. So don't keep them above outlets. I mean, I have done that and had water drip on the outlets, but as we all know, water and electricity just do not mix. I have another question for you guys, something I was curious about. If I turn it down so it's not too loud, do you want background music? Do you guys like the background music? Peppa says no background music. See some people doing that. I don't usually do it. And if, let's say, if you like the background music, is this too loud? I turned it down like that. Stop. No music. Yeah, I agree. I've never done it. You're entertaining enough. You don't need it. All right. I don't know why, but these lights, because these two lights I've added my other one, I find that the daylight and warm light together look the best, but it makes my face red. Or maybe it's this mic here. By the way, 3 live streams with sleep sound and no copyright section on my channel. It's working. Cool. I've done that, Tim, a while back when I was doing all day streams. I would go through StreamYard and use their music. I'd have my wife swap it to a new track, and never had a problem either. Yeah, I agree, Paulie. You don't. Hey, Foxy, you don't need no stinking background music. This ain't an egg watch. Good to see you, Foxy. Nobody wants the music. Prodigal just got an ad for it. You can usually guess if Cheryl is here, then so am I. Oh, and we're not shipping breakfast. Sorry about you. You're going to ship breakfast in a bubble mailer right now. There's enough background music in the chat. Can't keep up with it half the time. Okay. Well, that's good. I got the general consensus quick on that. Nobody wants the background music. Just was always curious about that. Stinking background music. She comes in hardcore. You don't need no stinking background music. Turn that shit off. If you want one of these bad boys, you can get them on my Teespring store. As time goes on, this is my favorite mug that I have, that I've put together. I think it's my 2 big Oscars and an angelfish down there. It is the Salient One mug. I do have towel available now. Roy Baker coming in. Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. So we've talked about aggressive fish. We've talked about combining fish. And we've talked about ways to reduce aggression, which I've got videos on that. Lots of us, I think, do. And we had a major conversation about pothos. We'll be leaving the house. 17-year-old son driving training, taking a long drive to my favorite discus fish store. They're holding 2 male Madagascar rainbows. Okay, cool, Jose. That's what you call killing 2 birds with 1 stone, sir. Be safe. Appreciate you, Jose. That's one fish I wouldn't mind getting into is discus. I could put them in at 125 once my other tank comes in, but man, are they expensive. Don't forget, Jose, you're going to send me some of them babies when they have them. Frontosia and discus, 2 fish I'd like to get on my list. 26 viewers and 19 likes. Appreciate you, Tim. So, yeah, that's going to be the next plan. Getting excited. What is this? This is the 12th. We're pretty much halfway through July. That means I've got around about 15 days. I'm going to say in 2.5 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be a big old 375 gallons sitting here. And then things are going to happen. Things are going to move. Jose coming in and forgetting to hit the like button. Dang it, Jose. It helps. I'll tell you what, that live stream I did about the buckets last week, last I checked, it had like 188 views or 189 views or something. People like that. Once Branton sends me his Menards bucket, I'm going to review that bucket for about a month, and then I'm going to make another live stream about it. Do they make a pre-filter that is not as coarse as the Aquarium Co-op sponge, but not as fine as the Top Fin square one? Is there a pre-filter I can get that's in between? My goal is to maybe not have to clean them out weekly, but maybe bi-weekly. I need like a medium grade pre-filter. Oh, Farm and Fleet. My bad. So many bucket talk lately, I'm getting them confused. I'd be jealous, Jesse. I would love to have a bigger tank than my 180. My bucket list fish is an arowana. Me too. Me too, Scotty. To be honest with you, I'm thinking about, I was talking to Whip about that. I feel like even a 375 gallon is too small for a silver arowana. Silver arowanas get very long, up to 3 feet, and they get girthy. They need a lot of turnaround room, although this tank is 30 inches front to back. So that is over 2 feet, and it'll have 8 feet left to right. But when you're talking about a silver arowana, I feel like it's just too small of a tank for that fish. Whip was saying you could get a black arowana. He's got one in his 250 or 240, and so a 375 would be plenty of room for a black arowana. So I was thinking about checking one of those out. Oh, there's Keith. Good to see you, buddy. Swiss Tropical sells different sponge microns. Okay. Yeah, I need that medium road. I even have Menard bucket coffee. I saw that, Foxy. I saw your cool little, on your last live stream there, the cool little coffee cup bucket. I like that. I got to say, I like that. I want one. Foxy, do you customize them? Can you put like our channel names on them? So like if you had a one, could you put like Salient Aquatics on it or my emblem? Buy one off you. Mark Spire Guy coming in. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. The black ones are smaller. Right. Right. I don't know. I don't know if a silver, I don't think a 375 gallon aquarium is large enough for a silver arowana. Now I know some people put them in smaller tanks, but I've never been one just to have a fish to put it in a home that it's not really going to be happy and comfortable in. This fish needs to be able to turn around as easy as he can swim left to right. Also, keep in mind, arowanas are known infamous jumpers. So you better have something keeping those lids down. Buse Plants has a medium pre-filter. Okay. Do you guys use these medium pre-filters? Jose says, I am quarantined to discus now and was with George Aquaballs at Jeff P Live. I was showing these two off and surprised he had eggs. Pulled other in a quarantine together. Watch see. Cool, Jose. Very cool. That'd be a happy day knowing that expensive fish like discus is having eggs for you. Nope, I bought it like that. If you come to the BBQ, you'll get one. I will not be making that BBQ, unfortunately. Where's that barbecue at? Where is it? I would think a 500 gallon is. I would agree. I would agree with that, and I've said that in the past, Scotty. I think 500 gallon. Of course, in my opinion, longer the better. So if you was going to have a 500 gallon aquarium, I don't know what the measurements would be, but I feel like you need 8 to at least 10 foot long would be better, and at least 3 to 4 foot front to back would be suffice, I would think. Arowanas are a problem fish. I wouldn't get it right. Often happen that many in the past pair off and lay eggs in quarantine. Okay. Hope you're doing well, Keith. Good to see you in the chat, my friend. Where is it? I'm sorry. Where is this barbecue? Is it Wyoming? Where's the barbecue at? North Wisconsin. Okay. That's a long haul right there. Let me see. Let me bring this GPS up. What's the address to the barbecue? Wow. 794 miles. That, ma'am, is a 15 and a half hour drive for me, depending on where I'm going. I can't stand sitting more than 45 minutes in a car. I hate traveling, and I hate being in cars. Cecil comes in and gives a Salient Aquatics membership. Appreciate you, Cecil. Thank you so much for that. Man, KG Tropicals had a massive gift membership thing going on last. It was raining memberships left and right. They had to make $1,000 off of that. Okay. What's the Keith? Are they killing it or what? Or are you gonna be able to bounce back from this thing or what? $200 South Oak. I mean, either okay, but I think I'd be looking at like a 15+ hour drive. Wow. Go to the Clash is not far. All right, Jesse and everyone, I'm out. I'm out of here. I'm going to take my boys to a space museum and then a fish event. Okay. Appreciate you dropping in and saying hello. You guys be safe and enjoy the rest. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cecil, for gifting the membership. Appreciate you, buddy. For sure. And Cecil, he's been a member for a long time. Well, I can't remember how long. Something like, you have to share that. How long you've been a member, Cecil, if you don't mind. Bring the family. It's the first, third. Yeah, I'd like to, but I don't have anyone to watch my birds and my dog. I'm not worried about the fish, but the birds and dogs need constant attention. The tumor shrunk, but the surgery is not an offer, so I'm living the dream while I can. All right, Keith. Okay. Well, that's cool that it shrunk. Know a guy that had this issue. And what he said was he just started eating a lot of leafy vegetables, heavy like superfoods, your spinaches. He said he ate a ton of broccoli and swears to God that fixed him up. He was eating nothing but a crap ton of superfoods and healthy leafy greens like broccoli, spinach, kale, things like this. And it next time he went to get checked out, it was gone. Wisconsin, not Wyoming. I'm expecting some new fish next week, some royal trout Danios. They are expected to ship on Monday, so I should have them on Tuesday. I'm excited to get these guys in. Very cool, Scotty. Okay. Wow, some royal. Where'd you get those, Scotty? Whip was hoping so bad for a membership and never got one. As soon as he entered prime time, he got one. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. That was fun though, Roy. And that's funny. He went over to prime times and got one. Well, at least we know that Google's not stopping his account from receiving them. He's just cursed on KG Tropical Stream. Jesse, don't come up how long I've been a member. Well, what you do, you've done it before, Cecil. You type your membership, and it's free membership shout out thing. You type it just brings it up and shows you how long you've been a member. Dogs welcome. It's friendly. Oh, it sounds like a good time. That's a long haul. What about? I can't bring my birds though, man. Please don't forget to like, stream, subscribe. Yeah, we're Dan's Fish. Okay, that's what I thought. Royal Trout Danio does sound cool. Yeah, we're very limited what we can do, Foxy, because we've got 2 birds, 3 big dogs, 1 cat. I'm not worried about the fish; they're fine. But those birds, very sensitive. It's you have to be very careful with birds. Even taking them traveling them can stress them out and cause issues. Very sensitive respiratory systems. They can't be smelling smoke and fumes and things like that. And they need constant attention. They love attention. If they don't give birds don't get attention enough, they'll pluck themselves bald. I forget the name for that. Not all of them, but some of them. Knocking their food dishes over. If they're trapped in the cage too long, at least ours, they hate, especially my cockatiel, hate being in the cage. He wants out in the worst way. I don't know. It's hard for us. And then I have one dog that I can't have. He only loves his family. He was a rescue. I found him running around a crappy town. He's been with me ever since. He loves me the most. He loves my wife. He loves my daughter. But even if my stepson comes into the house now that he don't live with us anymore, I can't trust him around anybody. He has to be locked in a crate when he's inside because he'll fight the other dog or anybody who tries to come. If we went on vacation, I don't even know how I'd work that out to where somebody could let him in and out to pee because you can't touch him. I can't even take this dog to the vet. The last time I had to take him to the vet, they couldn't do anything with him because he was so aggressive. I said, well, for God's sake, shoot him with a tranquilizer dart, do something. You know, you think these vets would be equipped, especially emergency vet. But he is a rare dog. This Mickey's his name. He's a shepherd mix. So it's like we can't go on vacations. I'd love to go back up north to Pennsylvania and visit my family and do some other things. But until some of these pets start passing on and meet God, I can't do it. The birds we could easily take with us, but if the traveling don't stress them out. It's the one problem when you get too many pets and you do this. It really limitates you what you can do. You get one of those membership milestones, and once milestones, and I didn't know that. Okay, Branton's been a member for 7 months. Thank you, Branton. Appreciate you. Oh, so he probably already did that. Bella the African Grey has finally warmed up to me. Took a bit. She was my wife and son immediately. I had to earn her trust. She jumped into me and started kissing me today. Oh, that's awesome, Tommy. Bella is cool. For those, yeah, I don't know if anybody knows, but Bella was God, why is the name escaping me? Bunny Vipers, African Gray. And he's got her, and what a beautiful bird. That's great that Tommy gave her a good home. We have a couple hundred lake Danios growing out right now. Oh, African Grays are one of the best talking, if not the best, fluent talking bird. Perfect, Jesse, see your family and go to the clash. Perfect, Jesse, see your family and go to the clash. Yeah, got to do it. Life's too short. Yeah. And they talk so fluent. Like, yeah, I think it's Apollo. The guy has there's a few of them, but Apollo's the one that sticks out in my head. I think he's the one who'll say, Apollo, what is this? And he'll go, metal. Or he can say purple, red. He'll give him different things like, what's this? And it's a bell. And if he does good, he gets a stachio. Our German Shepherds wouldn't fit in saddlebags, and my motorcycle missed me. Misses me. Yeah, we've really enjoyed birds. They've been something else. The cockatiel, I'm his person. He loves me. If I'm taking too long to go see him, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Took all 7 of our dash hounds to Tennessee in our RV last year. Nice. I wouldn't mind having me an RV. At one point, when I first met my wife, she had 7 Shih Tzus, and that was a chore. The females were always wanting to fight each other, and the haircuts. My God, you had to keep the hair trimmed because we weren't growing them out for show. We were just here trimming them down as needed. What a job those were. She talks to us, but every time I get my phone, she stops. She sings the Andy Griffith Show, the Addams Family, calls our dogs over by name, tells us good morning and I love you. You're so sweet. Oh, that's cool. Tommy, you got to get some video of that if you haven't already. I'd like to see that. My wife would definitely like to see that. She had a full-on conversation with her son, was mouth. Oh, yeah, that would be neat. You got to get this on video, Tommy. I like African Grays. The other bird that I really like is the Indian ringneck. I love that Indian ringneck. I think we've all seen that one on that chick in Canada has. What's he say all the time? You're so cute. Oh my goodness. What happened? That one. Indian ring, that's another really cool bird. I bet if I had my wife record her, she would keep going. Yeah, you got to try it, Tommy. I got to see that. I really want to show my wife that. That'd be cool. Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you're interested, Tommy, you want me to put the link in chat? Do you think you could come up and bring her on camera? That'd be fun. You want to do that? You able to do it? I wonder if we could do that. Does anyone know where to get the holders for pothos in a tank? I just saw the ones Jesse uses to hold on the lids. Oh, yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that video got a lot of views. All those are, Jose, is the shingles where, those are Christmas light holders. And they just slip on the shingle to hold your lights on the outside of your house. You get a bunch of those for cheap. I have 5 dogs and 6 aquariums. But honestly, Jose, I use those still, but you don't need to. Is if you got glass tops on your tank, you can wedge them back there against the filters of the back of the tank. Sometimes they do fall in, but for the most part, they stay put. She says, I have 5 dogs, 6 aquariums, and when we go on vacation to get my niece to come over and stay at the house and take care of all, I pay her $400 to do it. Yeah, that's about right, because taking care of that many pets can be aggravating. Yeah, very good talkers. One of the best. Bring them up, Tommy. I'd love to see. Yeah, same. No gear in the house. I'm in the shed. I'd have to move the whole studio. My phone camera is apt all scratched up being in my pocket with the keys. Okay, another lesson learned. Okay. Maybe we can schedule that, Tommy. That'd be cool. I'd really like to do that. I don't want to stress the bird out moving it from the house into the shed either, though. African grays. What a nice bird. That'd be cool to get her on camera. Bring you up. Speaking of which, if anybody's interested, here's the link in the chat. You're more than welcome to come up. Show me your tanks. Show me your pothos. Whatever you want to do. Hang out with a little bit. Bring some people up if you want to. Where is that thing? Planner. They got these too. BRB, I'm going to the bathroom right now. Live with StreamYard. Fun stuff. She's starred. We've got Peplin, has been a member for 4 months. Potho's looking good. Appreciate you, Peplin. Cecil gifted 1 membership, and Branton's been a member for 7 months. Can't thank you guys enough. So, yeah, things are going pretty good. Fish room, no problems. About to have a new addition. Central air pump is running great. Plants are doing great. I just need to step it up on a little bit more water changes. The once a month water changes ain't hacking it anymore. I'm getting too many nutrients and things build up, causing things like algae, phosphates, cyanobacteria. But nitrates really don't get above 80 ppm, even in my most heavily stocked tank. I do feed every other day, which helps that situation. But I think I'm going to have to start doing at least 25% water changes every 2 weeks instead of doing big 70 to 80% water changes once a month, just to keep all these nutrients down. That's why. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today or tomorrow. I might do it tomorrow, I think, because it's supposed to rain. We'll check the weather. But definitely going to get some water changes done this weekend. 25, 30%. And when you're doing 25, 30% water changes more frequent, it doesn't make it such a chore. So you can do big water changes once a month, or you can do smaller water changes a couple of times a month, which I find much easier to do. What are your thoughts on that? What is your water change frequency? Do you do big ones every time, small ones, and how often? Brandon says I do 50% water changes every 2 weeks. Yeah, then that's another good one. Yeah, I'm surprised you do 50% with your 10s and 20 gallons. I thought 25% would have sufficed for your smaller tanks, but I'm not sure. Depends on the tank, right? Yeah, and that's true too. You know, what do you got in those tanks? For my big tanks with my big fish, I generally like to suck out as much water as possible. And of course, I do that in my 125s. The 125 Mabuna tank's heavily stocked. So I like to do a big water change in there. And that tank by far has the highest nitrates out of any of them because of the amount of fish. With the big 125 Oscar tank, for whatever reason, they don't seem to eat all the food, so the fungus will grow on it. So I like to get all that crap out and do a big water change in there. I'll do a big water change here in this 125 community tank. But the 55s, the 75s, things like that, I just started doing smaller, more frequent ones. Cecil does 50%. So Cecil does 50% weekly, and Branton does 50% bi-weekly. Roy, I find a few small ones every week on Mondays. I find a few small ones every week on Mondays. So Roy, you're doing, what are you saying? You do a few of your small tanks weekly on Mondays? Scotty says, Cecil, same here, 50% in all my tanks, but my planted tanks only one time a month. The cichlid tank every 2 weeks. Foxy says, I'm not a fan of doing water changes on the 75s. It takes forever. Yeah, it does. And I'm with you on that, Foxy, especially the 125 gallons. If I drain 75% of that water, the draining is not the problem because I use a pump. It drains pretty quick. The filling part is the bottleneck, especially when I was doing it from the other end of the house using the Python. That has one of them stupid energy saving water faucet diaphragm things in there. It takes forever to fill. But if I'm using the hose outside, much quicker. And I've been doing it that way for a while with the hose. I was kind of worried the temperature difference might shock the fish, but it doesn't. They're fine with it. So if I go around to all these aquariums and I do, say, a 25 to 30% water change, draining with the pump, filling with the hose, with my Raisin homemade DIY filler made out of PVC, I can do all these tanks in 3 hours. If I'm using the Python coming from the faucet on the other side of the house, it's almost an entire Saturday if I'm draining all these tanks at least to 75%. 8 hours. What a big difference. Jose does 80% weekly. Wait a minute. Roy said, I said that wrong. A few small ones every month. Nitrate usually around 10 ppm. 10 ppm ain't nothing to worry about. So sounds like that your process works just fine. 80% weekly or more often than the bare bottom working tanks. Treatment. What? Quant breeding? Treatment QT breeding? Yeah, I like doing water changes too. Foxy will typically drain about 85% of the 75 twice a week because they're filled with juvenile axolotls poop machines. Okay, I don't have no experience with axolotls, so I'm assuming I do have experience with large common plecos, and they are poop machines. You can do a water change in one of them pleco tanks and poop back in there. It's crazy. I hear turtle tanks are real bad. Scotty says, my tap water here in Texas during the summer is an average of 80 degrees right out of the tap. Okay, see, I don't know what mine is, but after you get the water out of the hose that's been sitting out in the sun and gets ridiculously hot, I run that through until the normal temperature of the water comes out. I know that it's still colder than what's in my tanks. So that's why I worried about that. That'd be nice, though, having 80 degrees coming out of there. Roy has a 45 and a 55 running right now and a 75 coming. Very cool. Very cool. I like my bigger tanks too. Yes, it does, Scott. 884 tap. Yeah. Axolotl poop is work. No. Oh, man. I didn't know that. Woo. So I could imagine you don't want that hanging out in the water too long. I got you. For the 11 tanks, about 1 to 2 hours to drain with the pump. You're saying it takes you 1 to 2 hours for 11 tanks to drain and fill. Okay. Yeah, it's scalding here first. I have to run them from. Yeah, same. Even here. See, because right now I have my faucet on the other end of the house outside. This spigot. So I had to run a hose over here to get to the back door of the garage here. So it's out in the sun. And that water gets hot. You have to run it through. Yeah, Tommy's in Texas. I'm in North Carolina, and it's been hot here. I mean, I think we all been getting a lot of heat this summer so far. But we've been getting our 9,700 degree days here too. Yesterday was 87, but yeah, that water warms up. Now, once you get that hot water out of the hose and it's running through, it's still decent on the fingers. I don't check the temperature of my tanks using thermometers. I just do the old finger check. Keeping fish long enough, you know what it should feel like. I think we all know what I'm talking about. I'm here in Central Texas. All the flooding was around us. Okay. So I'm glad to hear that you didn't get none of that. Now, let me ask you this, Scotty. How is that flooding going to affect your water quality for doing water changes? A lot of times when you flood, these companies will say, hey, you better do a boil before you use your water because of all the crap and stuff that's getting where it shouldn't be. Do you have any of that problem being that flooding was all around you, Scotty? Do you have to like boil your water or take extra precautions from that? Well, that's not fun. We caught some of that rain. Raised my catch pond from to 4 feet. Glad I have it. Damn. Yep, I'm an NC2, Roy. I love a Fayetteville. Fayetteville, North Carolina, not Fayetteville. I think there's a Fayetteville in Georgia. So it's been hot. I'm curious about that water quality there, Scotty. No problem for me. We're roughly 30 minutes either side of that. Flooding was real bad. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, last I checked, I think they are up to what 100 and is it 120 dead? How many areas in Texas have good tap water anyway? I think most of us drink from a jug. Yeah, I haven't seen the update on the loss from those, but it was a bad ordeal. Bunch of new driftwood in Texas now. Yeah, I need. You guys seen that big piece I got? I got it over here. I need to. This piece of driftwood is so big it won't even fit in my tub, so I'm not going to be able to soak it. The only thing I can do is rinse it down real good, spray it off. It's probably going to float for a while. I don't have anything big enough. I do have the 300 outside that I could fill up, but the problem is I already started cutting silicone on that thing. I'm afraid to fill it up and it bust out. That's the only thing I have here that I could soak that in. Oh, Roy's in Hope Mills. Cool. Yeah, you're very close to me, sir. Very cool. Very cool. Let me look at this. Oh, I'm probably not going to find you. No. Let me try something. Do I know you? Roy, do I know you? Have I seen you around here? I'm trying to look at your picture. I do know a Roy. I don't know if it's the same Roy I know. Yeah, it won't fit in the bathtub, Cecil. I've tried. It's too big. I was trying in the last, I think it was a weekend ago. That thing's so big it won't fit in the stinking bathtub. That piece of driftwood is your golden ticket to get a stock pond from Tractor Supply soaking. Yeah, I want to do that. I'd like to get one of those. Honest with you. Wait, Jody P's off to work. Everyone over. You too, Jody P. Appreciate you. Be safe. What I wanted to do, right where this cart is behind me, I wanted to take this cart out and put a 300-gallon stock tank right there. And I think I have the approval for that right here. Yeah, don't work too hard. That's funny. I didn't think. Okay, well, that's neat that you're in Hope Mills. Oh, wow, Anita, I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you. I do know a Roy that works at Mount Air Farms. I thought that might have been you for a minute. There's Whip. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in, but it has been an hour and a half. I'm probably going to go ahead and jump off for the day. Well, it's good to see you, Wadida. Jesse, heading to Tractor Supply right now. The live stream, right after the live stream, pick up 300-gallon style. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, you're saying me? Yeah, I'm going. I got you, Roy. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, a little bit. Tell your co-host that she's slacking. I will, Foxy. She's still sleeping. She stays up too late and sleeps in too long. I'm trying to change that. Yeah, I've been on now coming up 1 hour and 35 minutes. I got some things to take care of. So, but you could have so many plants growing out of that pond. Beautiful water feature. Amazing relaxes when you're outside. Petland Aquatics. I think that name might ring a bell a little bit, but that may have been before my time. I've only been doing the YouTube thing for about coming up on 3 years, Roy. Yeah, it would sound amazing, Tommy. I even thought about getting one of those little fountains that you can buy that where the water goes up and comes down and catches. We used to have one years ago putting in here. Yeah, certainly good to see Juanita coming in. It's been a long time since I've seen that name. And I'll definitely tell Emma she's slacking, Foxy. Maybe we can get her back up here for next Saturday. We'll see if she's up for it. But me and Emma, we were doing a night swim in the pool last night. We got all kinds of lights and cool things going on there. And it was really cool. We weren't in there very long, 30 minutes or something. It was a nice little night swim. Mama didn't want to get in, so it was just us. But having said that, I am going to jump off. Certainly appreciate hanging up with you guys this Saturday. As always, had some good conversation. And we will catch you on the flip side. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm sorry, Miss Salient. Really, though, we're the budget spenders. If it is not a necessity, it ain't worth the hassle. So, check you guys later.